Yeah, McDermott's too good to fire, but he's just not quite good enough to outduel Andy Reid in a playoff game. Yeah, I definitely thought the Eagles would beat the Bills. I think the Eagles will beat the Chiefs, but I'm not as sure about that as I was about the Eagles beating the Bills. And I know I was on a little bit of an island on thinking the Eagles would beat the Bills, but I did. That's the thing. Like Saquon can run for 300 yards.
Nice and easy.
But you know the game comes down to the final few minutes where one of the quarterbacks has to go do something, and Saquon has nothing to do with that. So it's one of those things where you know the game's going to be close. So Saquon's ability to affect the game is somewhat questionable.
You said you've been here before. What were you doing?
Visiting an old friend.
Now, Josh Allen put up good numbers and everything, and he's far from the reason why they lost that game, but man, he was careless.
Better let me try it first.
Like Saquon, like Josh Allen wanted to give that game away early so bad, and the Chiefs kept dropping picks. I can't even lie. I mean, that wasn't Dirk against the Mavericks in 07, but he tried to make it like that.
First.
He threw like 4 would-be interceptions in the first half, man. Got very
Watch
lucky.
out! You okay?
Oh, Warriors, yeah. Yeah, JS, Warriors, my bad.
That bridge looks unstable.
By the way, Snacks, if you're saying something right now, I can't hear you, just so you know.
No, I'm not saying it.
Okay, good. Yeah, Lamar was worse last week than Allen
Better
was
let
today,
me try it
but
first.
I was shocked at some of those throws that Allen made. They were off.
What's crazy to me is I've been seeing this from like a lot of people have been saying
Watch out!
that, oh, the Ravens would have won this game, or oh, the Lions would have beaten the Eagles, or anything else. It's like, guys, there's tons of different reasons why teams lose the games that they play. But when you look at it from a broad perspective, what's happened in the playoffs so far has been like teams just did what they always do.
Let's get it! Get out of here!
The Vikings always choke, that happened. The Lions always choke, that happened. The Ravens always choke, that happened. The Bills went deep and then failed to get over the Chiefs' hurdle. That always happens.
When I went climbing in the Alps, the weather was nothing like this.
The
Hardly see the mountains.
Eagles fucking
We're not here to
ran
enjoy the
over
view anyway.
a load of crappy teams.
It's so common here.
Commanders really gave up 55 points with Dan Quinn, defensive guru, at head coach, man. Hate to see it.
Yeah.
Jones, what is it?
Texans always lose before
don't
the
think we
conference
are wrong.
championship round. They've never played in the conference championship ever.
Yeah. Like, everything that happened is just the same shit that always happens.
You seeing this too?
Yeah! It's a ship!
Good. Then I'm not crazy.
How on earth did it end up here?
Let's get a closer look.
So, I don't know why people are surprised, and I don't know why people feel the need to say, well, you know what? If this team made it this far, then they would have. It's like, dude, shut the fuck up. They didn't make it for a reason.
I'm trying to wrap my head around this, Jones.
The Lions
What
had
is that
8
shit
billion
doing
injuries.
There
They would
must
have
be an
lost to any
explanation.
good playoff team, I think, because their defense was completely ravaged. Like, everyone gets hung up on Goff turning the ball over 4 times, but even without the turnovers, you still have an atrocious defense that you can lose against anybody with.
Yeah.
It looks like
Nazi battleship? Yep.
This part of the game is way too loud because of the snowstorm.
Do you think bosses meant beat us here?
Let's hope not.
Jalen Hurts has now played in more Super Bowls than Aaron Rodgers, unless he dies in the next 2 weeks.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
Played more Super Bowls than Dan Marino. He's played in as many Super Bowls as Russell Wilson. He's played in more Super Bowls than... Well, no, he's played in the same number as Brett Favre.
Massive. How are we? Look! There's a hole!
I see
So
it.
what you're saying is,
Stone's gotta be inside
because
that
he's
ship.
worse than since he's worse than Jim Kelly,
You okay?
that would make him the worst quarterback to make multiple Super Bowl appearances with no wins.
Let me think here. McNabb only appeared in 1 Super Bowl. Delhomme only appeared in 1 Super Bowl. Goff only appeared in 1 Super Bowl. Maybe. Oh, Jim Plunkett's not a bad one, but Plunkett won a Super Bowl, right, Big Country? It can't be Jim Plunkett if he won. We're talking about guys who didn't win.
Yeah, the same way that Lamar Jackson is the only player to have multiple league MVPs and not make the Super Bowl.
This is creepy.
So it's kind of crazy when you think about it, like this era of football where, quarterbacks are seen as being like exceptional heroes who carry the team all by themselves, who are capable of doing shit that past generations could only dream of. And yet at the same time, this era is also offering us ineptitude on a scale that is almost unimaginable.
So,
The handwheel's missing.
if Mahomes is Michael Jordan, and he's keeping a bunch of players in his conference from ever reaching the championship round, who is Josh Allen and who is Lamar Jackson?
Josh Allen is probably...
I mean, if you want to expand it out to guys he prevented from winning a championship,
Yeah.
then is he Karl
Um,
Malone or is he Charles Barkley?
I'm just trying to think of the appropriate kind of thing. I would say Josh Allen is Patrick Ewing.
Mm-hmm.
and Lamar Jackson is Gary Payton.
That line.
What I mean by that is that Lamar's only chance of winning is if he steals one on the way out, because when he's the best player on a team, he just keeps getting upset by
Whatever
teams
botched
that he has no
experiment was
business
about
losing to.
I certainly weren't prepared for this.
Then,
You mean they didn't know how to handle it?
Hand it over.
Will it come in handy?
That's enough.
Patrick Ewing comparison is because for Jordan, Patrick Ewing probably would have been like the GOAT of that era. Incredible player, extremely fundamentally sound, extremely dominant.
Check the NFL channel, by the way.
Okay. That's pretty good. Thank you. Thank you, JS. And much like Patrick Ewing, I think Josh Allen would have the ability to go to the Super Bowl if Mahomes just wasn't there for a season, you know? When Jordan was in his 2-year retirement phase between the three-peats, Ewing made the finals. And damn near made the finals back-to-back, but then Shaq just ascended. So, you know, fair enough. But,
Why would anyone remember me?
I don't know. Maybe it broke off when he was trying to get in.
yeah.
Yeah, Hakeem as well. That's another good point. Hakeem kind of stole Patrick Ewing's thunder a little bit.
Right. Well, it was great for Hakeem's legacy to actually win those 2 championships while Jordan was retired, because Hakeem was looked at as being a huge disappointment right up until that happened. He was the butt of many a joke.
Let me see here.
Look, another dead Nazi.
They didn't stand a chance.
I almost feel sorry for them. Almost.
Thrown into chaos.
But eventually, man, you do start feeling bad for some of these guys. Like, at the end of the day, it's just a game, and Josh Allen has an incredible life. He's getting married to one of the bigger young stars in Hollywood. He's made hundreds of millions of dollars, but, you know,
Fuck him.
at some point, he does deserve to play in the big game, man.
Well, how do you feel about Brock Purdy?
I think he looks like Sheen from Jimmy Neutron.
That's exactly how I feel about Josh Allen. Josh Allen, this is the 7th time you've brought Ultra Lord to class. Oh, man. This is the 7th week in a row you've shown Ultra Lord in class.
It will take forever to see the whole ship.
Israel, this is the 7th week in a row you brought genocide into class.
I'll get this out of the way.
I saw gray in Josh Allen's beard. That's just because he's a big fan of CBT, and it prematurely ages you.
I can't hold this for long. that sound. Well, we may have a head start, but Gans and his men will be here sooner or later. Gotta find the stone and get off this ship.
Laura?
Like the picture of Mustache Man wearing the Chiefs jersey.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I tried so hard to get Mahomes in an SS uniform, and Grok was doing it, but every single time it'd get halfway through loading, and then it would be like, I can't generate that.
Wonder why it wastes time generating it initially before realizing it can't do it.
Because when you ask it to generate an image, it will always start actually doing it, and then it'll realize, wait a minute, what am I doing? And then it'll, like, delete the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm serious, man. Try, You can get it to do some hilarious shit before it kicks in.
Mm-hmm.
I need to know what the hell happened here.
And I will help you.
Oh, her sister's dead. Wow, I'm shocked. Thought for sure she'd factor into the next part of this game.
Yeah, like I just went, can you generate an image of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez in a sexy cow lingerie outfit and she has huge milky tits? And Grok was fucking doing it, but halfway through generating the image, that's when, oh, I can't do it. And I'm all like, it's too late, I've already seen everything.
U.S. sanctions and tariffs not taking effect on Colombia after President Petro agreed to Trump's terms on taking back migrants, the White House says.
But I would never work for the Nazis.
Yes,
Not willing.
that's exactly why he did the autistic thing of, then I'll put tariffs on you even if you coup me over it. Because that was just political posturing, but he had already caved. And the posturing was, he had already caved, so Trump already got his way, and they're already going to go and move forward. But he does that so then he could look like a tough guy, because he says, if you still go forward with these tariffs, then we will fight you, and we're going to do all of this. It's like, okay, you autistic fuck, like... out of every country in the Western Hemisphere, Colombia receives the largest amount of foreign aid from the United States. Hundreds of millions of dollars every year. And $400 million in foreign aid was approved in the most recent budget, and Trump actually has the opportunity to freeze those funds if he doesn't want them to be spent. In addition to that, remittance payments to Colombia accounts for about $10 billion US worth of their GDP every year, and their total GDP is a little over 300 million. So that is like a absolutely not insignificant chunk that he could just be like, okay, all of this, you ain't getting shit. Plus, you know, like I was saying earlier, only 17% of all the coffee that is purchased in the United States is imported from Colombia, whereas more than a third of all of the products, like everything that Colombia imports into their country, more than a third of that is from the United States. So if they actually enacted those tariffs, it would devastate their own economy.
I have to find out the truth about my sister and why she was here on this dumb ship.
Whereas, like,
Yeah.
here in the United States, you'd get a couple of different Folgers flavors, basically. That's about it.
Wait a minute.
Better QB all time, Mahomes or Manning? I'm pretty sure that Mahomes is quite a bit better than Eli Manning. Unless you meant Archie Manning. I don't even think he's in the league yet, right? Like, is he even in college?
He is in college.
Okay.
Come on, let's keep going.
Yeah, I would take Peyton Manning. I mean, we have to remember here, Mahomes still has Andy Reid, who might be the greatest offensive coach of all time. And Peyton Manning had, like, what, fucking Jim Caldwell?
Closest thing he had to a competent coach was John Elway, and he wasn't even the coach. What school does Archie Manning play for? BYU?
University of Texas.
Oh.
What was that? I hear Nazis in
Oh, he actually went pretty deep then. How about that?
Yeah. But he's not starting yet. He went there to back up Quinn
Oh.
Ewers for a year. He's going to start this year because Ewers declared.
Okay, well, fair enough. My personal belief is that he's actually going to be humongously disappointing. He'll look above average, if not borderline elite, in his college season upcoming. So people will hype him a lot, and he'll definitely be a first-round pick. And then he'll get to the NFL, and he will just and is definitely the best regular season quarterback ever. Not even close. I am out. Well, like Joker was saying, the Colts are not a serious franchise, and they never have been. If they were, Peyton probably would have had a Tom Brady-esque career. Like, he would have been winning shit left and right. Because I get what you're saying. That he's the best regular season QB ever, but like,
Yeah, they're
hardly any of the
alcoholic.
right. Almost none of their playoff flameouts were on him. And if I remember right, because it was a long time ago and I was barely paying attention to football at the time, but if I remember right, in the Super Bowl that he lost with the Colts against the Saints, I think he was putting up such a heroic performance that during the game people were wondering if he should get Super Bowl MVP even if they lose.
Well, that was when the Saints were cheating anyway, so who cares about what happened in that fucking game?
Fair enough. Jesus.
The Saints intentionally injured Brett Favre in the 2009-2010 NFC Championship game.
Yeah. You hate to see it. Big year he had a Colts D was his worst personal result. Kind of ironic. Yeah. Well, the universe was just like cutting him a break because he got to farm rec for a championship. That's
If anyone
You don't
deserves
get-
it, it's him.
yeah. When that kind of thing happens, you gotta just accept that the universe is cutting you a break.
Dina, get the hell out of my way.
Oh my god. Oh man. This time the picture got 2/3 of the way through being made before it decided to censor itself, and holy shit, those knockers were massive. They were big time, let me tell you.
thinking of me? Is she perverted like me? Would she go down on you in a theater? It is kind of weird that the radio stations censor that song about falling down on somebody in a movie theater in the Alanis Morissette song.
These kinds of things happen.
I will always be happy for Andy Reid. I will say that. It will never make me feel upset about Andy Reid having success. I know it's very trendy to hate the Chiefs right now, and I get it. I don't begrudge anybody that, but I will never be unhappy about Andy Reid having success, even when I would prefer that someone else have that success.
Oh yeah, like I said to you, but just to bring it up once again, it looks like Boogie's sugar baby finally left him.
I heard a little bit about that, but I thought it was fake. You're saying it's real.
Nope. Yeah, everybody's talking about it because he was crying about it big time on the Keemstar show.
Okay. Well, good for her, man. She's a 21-year-old woman dating a 52-year-old man who's going to be dead in a couple years. Like, the ultimate in dead ending.
Absolutely. So what a lot of people are saying about this is they're like, oh, it looks like the money finally ran out. Boogie has finally gone broke.
Judgment. Ironic.
Well, Bitcoin finally dipped down, and there's reason to believe that it could be prepping for that one final push down before we moon. So the Hawk's Nest streamed all day today, and he was in a much better mood, and he told people that he's not leaving. So
Oh,
that's a big improvement over where we were a few days ago.
yeah, that's a big surprise. I agree.
He straight up told me off stream that he was done, so...
This big chain is in the way.
Wait here. I'll take care of it.
What changed?
Apparently people were very positive and supportive of him over the last few days, and it changed, it turned his mood around a little bit. Because while part of it is financial, the bigger part of it is more like emotional and mental, and like, I'm sick of dealing with these fucking idiots, and I'm sick of, people insulting me for no reason. I'm sick of people being assholes. So he just kind of needed this to kind of remind him that, hey, there are a lot of people out there that like you,
Yeah. For sure. There's been a great meme today that went like super viral.
Mhm.
It was a post people found from January 7th, and all of a sudden it just took off like a fucking rocket. The post is, you can't post a random picture and expect people to understand it.
Okay.
And so people have been posting pictures that are just references.
Right.
It's fantastic. I really enjoy this one. Guy posted this picture. Definitely been a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. Kansas City.
Perfect. Just one more.
Bobby Wagner was face down, ass up all day. Well, he might be giving you a hint in terms of his plans for after football.
Yeah, I'm very excited for Pete Carroll to give him like a 3-year, $33 million contract. And then everyone to collectively realize that, oh yeah, he's still Pete Carroll and he still doesn't understand how football works.
Well, I think that would just be more evidence for the Adam Sandlerization of Leonard.
Right.
He's just looting the franchise at this point. It's like the Raiders are open for business, boys. Come on down and get paid. Oh God, they would pay Russell Wilson. They'd give him a bigger contract than Dak got.
Well, they didn't give Pete general manager powers, so they have some ability to prevent that, but I do think he's going to push very hard to get his boys back together.
Boys are back in town.
You know, the funny thing is, Super Bowl 57 was an amazing Super Bowl, objectively speaking. Like, you had 73 total points scored. The game came down to the final few seconds, back and forth, up and down, and everyone is intrinsic, it just is automatically inclinated to hate it because it's the Eagles and Chiefs.
Yeah.
We made it. Let's keep going.
It'd be like refusing to acknowledge how the 2013 NBA Finals were one of the best NBA Finals ever, because if you hated the Spurs and the Heat. Like, knock it off. This ain't about you.
Yeah, exactly. And I try to tell people that because they're like, oh my God, LeBron's greatest finals of all time was definitely 2016 when he won the championship for Cleveland. And I'm like, look, just because you weren't alive during 2013, it's like, bro, that fucking moment had everything. You know, you're just buying into the Cinderella bullshit because Cleveland miraculously won a championship. But they literally needed the league to suspend Draymond for multiple games in order to fucking pull that shit off. Meanwhile, 2013, LeBron with the incredible block on Thiago Splitter. The whole series was back and forth, like the Spurs and Heat just kept trading wins back and forth. Obviously, Ray Allen's shot, which is a top 5 greatest finals moment of all time. LeBron in Game 7 was incredible. Scored 40 points, and pretty much every single one was just jump shots. Barely ever missed. Plus, in Game 7, Shane Battier went apeshit. Hadn't hit more than 1 3 in the entire series up to that point. Then he goes 6 for 6. Just ascends.
Maybe the last
and even then,
game of his career.
Right. Even though Game 6 was incredible because of the shot, like, it looked like it was all over. the Heat had a huge comeback in the fourth quarter. It already looked like it was over, but then it looked like the Spurs were putting it to bed, and then Ray Allen happened. But then even in the overtime, shit was crazy there too. Like, it was down to the wire the whole time. And then in Game 7, even though the Spurs had been spiritually defeated, and everyone figured because of what happened in Game 6, the Heat are definitely going to win, that game was incredibly close. 2013 was like the greatest finals of all time in terms of just, if you enjoy watching basketball, you would love to watch this series. It had everything. And people still shit on it. It's insane.
Your sister's expertise.
Yeah, I remember that shit. I almost had a fucking heart attack. I'm reading back the play-by-play in Game 7. With 47 seconds left in the game, the Spurs are down by 2. And Tim Duncan is wide open on a breakaway fast break layup. There's no defender in front of him. But what happened is that Shane Battier was running in behind him, and Tim Duncan just completely overthought everything and fucked himself. Because he expected Shane Battier to contest the shot, so he altered his shooting motion, thinking that he was going to contest the shot. But Shane Battier didn't even try to contest the shot. He was just running behind him. So, him altering his form like that for nothing, he got confused by Shane not contesting. So he tried to change his shooting form back. So what happened, by doing that, he didn't commit any shooting motion. He bricked wide open layup.
Right.
With 47 seconds left, down by 2. And then Bosch gets the rebound. Heat call a timeout. 39 seconds left in the game, up by 2. Spurs decide not to foul. So the Heat dribble out some time, and with 28 seconds left, LeBron hits the dagger.
Captain locked himself in a
With
safe room.
27 seconds left in the game, up by 4 now.
Let's open it.
Well, first we need to find the right combination.
And then Manu did the series, threw the ball away right into LeBron's hands. And game over. That shit was insanely stressful, but when Manu threw the ball away there, oh my god, it felt like I ejaculated.
I think he turned the
Just-
ball over like 8 times in that game.
He definitely had a bad game. Like, after that one, a lot of Spurs fans were saying he should retire, but he didn't, which was very good for him because they would go on to win the championship and the biggest ass kicking of all time the following season. So got his win back, as they say.
And
Manu had 4 turnovers that game, including the game losing one.
okay, I might be thinking about game 6 or something because I know there was one game where he just like completely shit his pants.
Yeah, it was game 6. Manu big time shit his pants. Plus, the whole reason that Ray Allen was able to hit the 3 is because they were playing the foul game and the Spurs kept missing.
Mm-hmm.
And Kawhi missed a free throw, and then Manu missed a free throw. You know, to Kawhi's credit, that it wasn't designed for him to have the ball and get fouled, so it just happens. But Manu was the best free throw shooter that they had, and they put the ball in his hands with the game on the line, and he bricked it.
Mm-hmm.
Plus the 8 turnovers. He played 40 minutes, including, you know, like in a game that went to overtime, and he only had 9 points. Oh my god. Brutal. Well, the 2007 finals was a lot closer than it seems, especially if you just look at box scores, JS.
Mm-hmm.
But that team was probably the worst team to make the finals like ever. LeBron exerted his will in Herculean fashion to get that Cavs team to the finals. So it's no surprise that they lost, but you know, he if he won that series, he probably would be the GOAT. Like, that's a
Yeah, that was unreasonable. Three 666.
Do you think Jalen Carter is ever just standing there on the sidelines and then he randomly remembers that he killed someone? Oh my god.
Where else?
Uh-oh.
Ask Matthew Broderick and see what he thinks.
Uh-oh, hot dog.
Must be the statue they found in Machu Picchu. The stone would have been hidden inside.
Poor stone.
Come on.
Honestly, what LeBron did to the Pistons in the Eastern Conference Finals that year was some incredibly OP stuff.
Yes.
That alone should have protected him from
What's
disrespect.
that in his hand?
I think we found it.
Oh, nice.
What does it say?
I'm not quite sure. It's hard to tell. Maybe Earth something. Fingers.
Heart stars,
that?
horseshoes, clovers, and blue moons,
Nazi.
pots of gold and rainbows, and the red balloons.
We'd better hide. Jones!
Right there.
Indy, you have a revolver. Use it.
Hey, tú! Ciao.
Indy, kill now, celebrate later. I mean, I know that Indiana Jones is schlocky by definition, but come on, man. These fight scenes and the cutscenes are absurd. Take this a little bit seriously.
Holy shit. I had no idea how many people on right-wing Twitter lived in Missouri. They're all celebrating the Chiefs winning.
I think hoping that the Chiefs win is kind of like a, you know, if I can't be happy, then no one gets to be happy type thing.
Yeah.
I am surprised, Dr. Jones. Frost told me you were dead.
Oh, yeah? I wonder what else he lied to you about.
Hands behind your head. Where's the stone, you American rat?
Stone.
Oh man, that is hilarious.
Have you ever heard of Höhenangst?
Fear of heights.
Yes! I have it. And still, I endured this dreadful mountain even if my mind was screaming every step of the way. Because of a concept you narrow-minded Americans will never
After the everybody started talking about him with a car part, all of a sudden, oh man, that's brutal.
Well, please. Enlighten me.
Devotion. Total and absolute devotion to the fatherland. Now what of the American? What is his duty?
Did you read the news that
Lebensinhalt. His purpose.
Trump is negotiating with Bukele to set up El Salvador as like a prison
Hamburgers and picture shows?
nation, where if all these countries are like, we don't want to take
Leader
your deportees, we don't want them back.
is your stupid American
He's like, okay,
cartoons.
we'll just send them to El Salvador to just rot in their prison then.
You laugh and dance.
So the message is self-deport or we will send you to El Salvador prison.
I will walk
and they're just gonna fucking pay Bukele a shitload of money
Overcome any fear.
to let El Salvador be a prison colony.
Lasting 1,000 years.
That's hysterical.
So I'm in a
When
Seinfeld
you have
group on
devotion,
Facebook,
You can withstand.
and someone just made a post in it. Cosmo Kramer. What
Anything.
are the funny things he did that
It
were
makes
actually
me-
disrespectful?
Invincible.
Uh-oh.
Well, congratulations.
Give me that stone.
I think that time he recited his Laugh Factory monologue while forcing Kamala Harris to clean his toilet.
I shall search your corpse to make sure.
Please,
Very disrespectful,
I have this.
but hilarious.
I have it.
Give me the stone. Bitte.
Gina.
Hilfe!
We gotta get out of here.
Helf mir!
God damn it, woman.
The stone!
Gina!
Like, put it in your pocket. Holy shit.
You know, in Indiana Jones, the only movie where they had the woman being this inept and retarded was in Temple of Doom, and people hated Billy.
Yeah. I mean,
So
this,
I have no idea why the fuck they thought that'd be.
this woman is not like Billy. I'll say that much. She's better than Billy. But I'm getting annoyed. Honestly, it's not even a her thing. The cutscenes, fight scenes are very goofy. And I think I know what they're trying to do. Like, Indiana Jones is a goofy franchise. But it's very cartoony when they fight. I don't know. I don't love it. I think you could stand to take this stuff a little bit seriously.
I'm okay! Most of it is shit.
Oh, yellow paint. I see yellow paint. What? How is that game over? That doesn't make any damn sense. I'm alive. I fell like 3 feet. Yeah, whatever. I wonder if that Delonte West thing actually happened, by the way. We don't talk about that enough. It's one of the craziest stories of all time.
Shove off! Go! Come on!
So I'm reading about it right now, and Delonte West debunked it back in 2023
Gotta follow the cliff!
by saying that that rumor destroyed his life. And he's all like, it's not even funny either, because spreading that rumor makes me look like a piece of shit, and it makes LeBron's mom look really bad too, and she's one of the strongest ladies that I've ever known, and everywhere I go for my, like, ever since, anytime someone, oh, Delonte West, that's the first question out of their mouths, and that sent me to a really dark place and made me very depressed and caused me to abuse drugs and alcohol. I'm like, holy fuck, poor guy. Like, I don't know if you remember, but a couple of years ago, Mark Cuban was like
What if it was a stone?
putting out an APB for Delonte West because he saw he was like homeless
Fold the
and
earth by speaking the word.
begging on the streets in the Dallas area. People took pictures.
Let me see the stone.
It's horrible stuff, man.
We have to do
Poor
something.
guy.
Think. Earth. It's split Earth. But some. It's a Damek. We have to say the word in a Damek.
Well, do it, you fucking idiot. Stop talking about it and do it.
Salayim!
Oh, here we go. Okay, so interesting. In every Indiana Jones movie that I can recall, the mystical, fantastical thing happens in the climax. But here they're doing it in the second act.
There's a stone.
I told you, I am invincible!
And one of the lead Nazis also dies in the second act. Okay.
Congratulations. Gina?
Jones? Jones! I found the stone.
You keep it safe. We gotta get out of here.
I don't understand what just happened. We were in the mountains just moments ago.
There's something about that stone.
But how could a stone...
I don't know. It's obviously very dangerous.
And Indy's completely unaffected by the fact that he just used a portal to teleport somewhere. Well, I don't want to say completely unaffected, but he would definitely have a bigger reaction than that.
It must have been the stone. I spoke the word, written in a Damek, and it folded the earth. Folded the earth.
I feel like this game is headed towards some kind of a plot resolution where it turns out the Earth used to be flat or something. I'm getting that vibe.
We should get out of here.
When do they announce who wins league MVP, by the way?
What's going on outside?
Winners will be revealed on February the 6th.
That's before the Super Bowl. Okay.
Where the hell are we, Jules?
3 days before the Super Bowl. Yes.
Good for.
The Superb Owl is on February 9th. So the 6th is Thursday
Where are we?
Shanghai!
before the Super Bowl. That's fucking stupid.
The Japanese warplanes!
Come on, jump! Mio Dio. This is really...
So we teleported from the Himalayas to Shanghai.
You think so? Look at that!
Nobody will
Why is
believe
it
this.
exploding?
I barely believe it. Where are we?
I think this is like in the middle of a war or something. Basically, we teleported from the Himalayas to a city that is currently being
Let me
bombed.
see here.
Oi, jump!
We gotta get off the streets! Keep your head down!
Up there!
Okay. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle takes place in 1937. 1937 was the year that the Second Sino-Japanese War started. So that would be the Japanese are invading China.
Europe is already a powder keg. If this conflict spreads, it could spark another world war.
Just focus on not dying.
So, like, was there a time skip, or did you literally teleport?
I'm pretty sure I teleported.
Wow, that's fucking lame.
Basically, these stones
Well,
that
we
we're
get
trying
out of
to
here in one
find have
piece,
the ability
can write another
to
one.
fold the earth.
Japanese bombers!
Okay, Japanese bombers. So this place is getting bombed by Japan. I think it's Shanghai. I'm not sure, though.
Yeah, like I said, 1937, Second Sino-Japanese War. Japan is invading China.
Sure hope it can survive this.
And, yeah, it's in Shanghai, because that thing you just picked up said it's Shanghai.
Total destruction. Everywhere.
Okay, I'm reading a synopsis of the plot right now, and I'm not going to spoil anything, I'm just looking to confirm what the hell's happening right now. And yes, that's correct. Jones is able to use the stone to open a portal, transporting them to Shanghai in the midst of the Japanese invasion.
Why'd you have to...
So that's exactly what's happening right now.
Okay.
Looks like we have to climb.
You did, in fact, literally teleport to Shanghai, and the Japanese are invading.
What's this? Oh, is one of my students gonna read this? They're not giving up the city without a fight.
What are we doing, Jones?
Trying to find a way out. Hopefully in one piece.
Wait. Come look at this.
Color me intrigued.
Come over here.
Oh,
Look where I'm pointing.
apparently, there's much like there's No, every Sopranos frame.
Yeah.
There's another account which is every
Think you'll
Better
fly?
Call Saul frame in
I know
order.
it's a long
Yeah.
shot, but do you have another idea?
Almost
This
an
tweet
answer?
right here will show you
I need to check if
which
the engine works first.
frame
Right. I guess we have a plan.
ended up going viral.
Right. Okay.
Crazy plan. Let's just hope it works.
Yes, that's the one that went viral.
Apparently, there was a funeral held for the Gooner guy who showed up to that thing with no pants on.
Oh no.
They're calling it the Gooneral.
Maybe you can use
No.
your to put on that sign. It'll be like a brick.
God damn it.
Jesus. It's just fucking pathetic. Bro. Black pillars absolutely vaporized.
All right, guys, be right back. Okay. We're back, people. They're interviewing Josh Allen in the postgame. They're showing the video of him interviewing.
Yeah.
It's a pretty depressing thing to look at.
Good thinking.
Thank you, Professor.
I can imagine. Probably sitting there like, we were right there, man. That doesn't for LOL regular season arguments, though. Beating the Chiefs in that game where they actually beat them was should have been harder than beating them here.
Mm-hmm. Hard to imagine Buffalo getting back to this point again. I know we say this every couple of years, it feels like, but this felt like the window. Maybe we'll be saying this again in a year, but how long can this window stay open?
Yeah.
We can jump over there. This is madness.
Let's keep moving.
We need to get to the other side.
Easier said than done. Follow me.
Are you okay?
I'm all right. I'll find a way back up.
Be careful. Are you all right, Jones?
Time of my life.
You made it.
Let's get out of here.
One thing that I'm seeing a lot on like X lately are people saying things like, I wonder where all those Latino Trump voters are right now. They sure are quiet. And I guess the implication is that I guess the Latino Trump voters didn't think he would actually start deporting illegal immigrants. I really don't think that's true. I'm pretty sure the Latino Trump voters wanted him to, knew he would do it and wanted him to do it. Like, there's this concept that there are these Latino Trump voters that just were like, oh, all he's going to do is fix the economy. He's not actually going to deport anybody. And it's like, I don't think that's very much of a thing at all.
Yeah, let me tell you something. I've never met anybody who hates Hispanics more than other Hispanics. And Hispanics that have come here legally, they're probably filled with glee seeing, you know, like, they might be Mexican, and then they see Hondurans and Colombians and Venezuelans getting checked out, and they're like, fuck yeah! Like, they're probably happier than most whites are. Just such an insanely fucking stupid narrative.
Okay, let me see if I can bring that tail up for you. There! Gina, pull up!
I'm trying!
Well,
Aim, are you seriously trying to tell me that Indiana Jones picked up a fucking plane with his whip?
I mean, they already did the fucking, you know, Shia LaBeouf swinging with the monkeys in the jungle thing. After that, all bets were off, I guess.
I think we made it!
What a disaster.
Spoke too soon. Something tells me these guys aren't friendly.
I still think that's the most obnoxious part of any Indiana Jones film.
What happened?
Shia LaBeouf swinging
They
with the
got
monkeys.
us.
If I could remove any one moment from an Indiana Jones movie,
Keep the plane straight or I can't shoot!
it would be when Ilsa died in The Last Crusade.
So they can't hit us!
She should have gotten rescued too. Because the idea that Indiana ends up with fucking Marion is just bad.
I think we lost them.
Oh, thank God!
Never mind! Lao Che will be happy.
Who?
An old friend.
Maybe you could introduce me while we're here.
Sure. We can stop by for a coffee.
We're losing altitude!
I'll get us a new plane. Tow crash.
Thanks
Oh,
for the
boy.
advice!
Oh, this is going to be fun. I've seen this part on YouTube.
What are you doing?
Oh, this is gonna be a
now?
party.
Are you crazy?
Just hold the plane still. Not too shabby. Out of my way, pal!
Why would the guy with the gun get out of the cockpit?
Tina!
Why wouldn't he just say to the pilot, hey, tilt the wing 45 degrees to the right?
I'm trying!
Off you go. Oh my god. I mean, hey, whatever, we're all just having fun, but Jesus Christ, this was... Ow.
Yeah, I know Indiana Jones is schlocky. I don't think it was ever this schlocky. This is like a Fast and Furious movie, honestly.
Give me a hand with this!
This is a joke. This is.
You're hurt.
Huh?
Here.
Thank you. I still don't know how this rug could bring us halfway across the world.
Only thing I know is, no one can ever use those stones again.
What's your theory, Professor?
Okay, so I understand that Indiana Jones's whole thing is that he finds these incredibly powerful artifacts and then tries to keep them hidden so people can't use them for nefarious purposes, but the ability to teleport from one place to another is not intrinsically malicious. You could use that to do many amazing things. Don't know why he immediately thinks, oh, nobody can ever use these stones again.
Not only that, but do they have direct control over where they go?
We're not sure yet. We've only done it once, and we did it because we were about to die and we just needed to get out of there.
If that's the case, then the idea that no one can ever use them is actually insanely stupid, because while, of course, there's a potential for all kinds of crazy things to happen if you just randomly teleport somewhere, if you don't know where you're going.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. Nazis use them, they end up on the top of a mountain. We use them, and we end up dodging bullets and bombs in a war zone. I've seen what happens when mortals mess with this kind of power. It doesn't end well.
I mean, you saw them messing with the Ark of the Covenant.
Look, I can...
Yeah.
Which was very, like,
drop you
explicitly
off the nearest
forbidden
harbor.
by
Maybe we
God,
can catch a
right?
boat to Italy.
There's a difference
Yes.
between that and
I'm
rocks
not
that
going
teleport
anywhere,
you.
Jules.
All right.
Where are the other stones?
Well, the nearest site on the Great Circle would be Sukhothai, deep inside the jungles of Siam.
All right, we're going to Siam,
But
baby.
what if Boss has already taken?
Not a chance. None of the relics in the Vatican treasure chamber came from Sukhothai. It's got to be there.
What are we waiting for then?
By the way, that was some nice.
Plus,
footage.
you remember what was actually inside
Yeah.
the Ark?
I don't suppose you
the
know
Ten
what
Commandments,
it is,
right?
do you?
Excuse me?
Well, no. When they opened it up, it was just sand.
Right, well, originally, right?
Just might have a little trouble with the landing, that's all.
Originally, yes, the Ten Commandments were supposed to be kept. Yep. The Ten Commandments, the budded staff of Aaron, and a pot of manna. I don't know what a pot of manna is.
Isn't mana like food? The ancient Egyptians?
In the Bible, manna is the substance miraculously supplied as food to the Israelites in the wilderness.
We should talk to the locals.
Yes, but we
So
have
it
to
was
earn their
food
trust.
that was miracled into existence when
They
the
are very happy when all this
when the Israelites were walking through the desert.
Oh, you know I'm starving. That's all I got left. Do you want some?
Yes, please.
Oh, hey, Phil. Looks like you could use this more than I could.
It's 1937. Why do they keep traveling to countries that are fascist? Why can't they travel somewhere else?
Well, I think the Nazis are searching for the artifacts that we're searching for, so they
Hey,
end up kind of, hanging out wherever we hang out.
keep up a profile.
Fair enough.
I think.
But Siam, which is modern-day Thailand, was part of the greater East Asian co-prosperity sphere
Think I got a phone in that place?
and was an ally to the Japanese during World War II.
I should call Marcus.
However, they didn't join them until later on in the progress of the war. So if it's 1937 and the Japanese just started invading China, Siam, while being friendly and aligned with Japan, they are not their allies yet, and would not participate in invading China.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, let's see here. Oh, that'll be a nice parting gift.
The other thing that's funny to me right now, after, that female bishop did the thing right after Trump got inaugurated, and I'm not, you know what I'm talking about, of course.
Yes, yes.
And all the leftists were like, oh, these right-wing Christians don't know anything about how Jesus actually was. And they seem to think he was this ultra soft and always perpetually soft-spoken individual who never judged anyone. It's like, did Jesus not call a lazy woman a dog and also try to destroy a temple that was collecting taxes or something?
Yeah, the money changers, that was a temple to God that the money changers had defiled
Mm-hmm.
by, because usury was against biblical law. And they were out there lending money and participating in usury inside of a temple. It was highly blasphemous. So Jesus went insane and he flogged those people. Like, straight up got a whip and literally whipped their asses. And yeah, you're talking about he called that one woman lazy. Jesus had many sayings about people who are lazy. Is remember, sloth is one of the 7 deadly sins.
They're organizing a
And he would say things like a tree is judged by its fruit. The metaphor, of course, being that a person is judged by what they accomplish in their lives, and if they don't accomplish anything, then they're a fucking useless person.
So, yeah, Jesus was not somebody who just accepted everybody as they were and was just okay with everything and was open-minded to the point of weakness.
Is anyone here?
พวกเราสู้มันไม่ได้เราแค่สู้พวกมันได้ทำตามแผนเดิมต่อไปแล้วก็
Ciao.
monsoon season hit hard.
I saw a telephone over there.
Good, thanks.
Operator มีอะไรให้ฉันช่วยไหม
Yes, operator. I'd like to place an international call, please.
Hello?
Marcus, did you find the page?
Yes, you were right, Indiana. There are legends about a lost ziggurat in the jungles of Sukhothai. Supposed to be a haunted place. shunned by the Khmer. But legends are unreliable.
You must be busy. I'll come back.
And even if it did exist, no one could tell you where.
That's what I thought. Look,
Reception is deserted. How's your friend?
Who's that? Have you met a lady?
what? No, of course not. Marcus, don't be ridiculous. Try the bell.
I've just done it.
Try again. You still there, Marcus?
Indiana, I have to tell you something.
Well, what is it?
The college administration. They decided to let you go.
Oh
Wait a
no,
second.
Indiana Jones got fired from the job
They're
that he
gonna fire me?
seems to hate doing.
I told you that running off during midterms would get you in trouble, old boy.
No, that
Okay.
should be the next Indiana Jones game. You
Marcus.
just work as a professor for the whole game
I can't stop now.
and grade like student papers.
I'm committed.
You have to deal with trying to avoid paternity suits from all the students that you're banging.
Hello, Lucas.
Indiana.
Why don't you ask Voss? He's the one who took him from the Vatican, not me.
Last chance to leave. Life is precious, even yours.
Sabarika. Thank you so much. Very helpful.
Is that a threat?
A kindness.
Jones. What happened? You look white as a sheet.
It's nothing.
There's a guy who's 9 feet tall and managed to move around
Well, it took
stealthily
me a while,
in
but I finally got us some rooms.
fucking Thailand.
Yeah, it's like in fucking Jurassic Park when the T-Rex is sneaking up on people. Like that's not happening.
Here's the key to your room.
Thanks.
See you in the morning.
Candyman. Candyman. Was Candyman the guy who like had the bees come out of his mouth?
Yes.
Okay.
พูดได้เอาล่ะครับคุณนะ
So, the average height of a man in Thailand, and this is today, is 5'4".
ราตรีสวัสดิ์ครับ
And the reason I specify that this is today is because the country is richer and has more abundant food than it did in 1937. So the average height was probably even shorter. So let's just call it an even 5 feet is the average height. Indy already looks like a giant compared to everybody else there. And then this fucking guy who's literally 9 feet tall is walking around and no one notices him. It'd be like if you were chilling in a fucking hotel lobby and suddenly a giraffe walks in behind you.
Been at that university plenty of time.
Don't you love rain? It washes everything clean.
Gina. I'm sorry about what.
Somebody posts a picture of Norm at the weekend update desk. This is the response to the Haitian leader says the Trump administration's plans will be catastrophic for his country.
I can't go back to my normal life.
Norm goes, tonight a Haitian leader claims the Trump administration's plans could be catastrophic for his country. Interesting contention is Haiti is currently run by a cannibal warlord named Barbecue.
Start looking for a new job, I guess.
Like, how much fucking worse could it get?
Any family?
She,
I'm retweeting that one.
She?
Didn't work out. She said I was too busy chasing the past. Didn't make good on my promises. You know. Fixing the porch. Fancy dinners.
Well, I can see how you could drive a woman away.
Getting hit with the big red pill. Is there like, if Haitians would make their own country worse,
When we first
how do they make ours better?
I thought you
And everyone's posting the Riddler. Riddle me this. How do immigrants strengthen our country, but not their own?
Have you seen this yet? I just sent you a clip.
What do you think now?
But I was wrong. You do have a heart.
This is hilarious. No, I haven't seen it.
So just, pray for me then.
We all have our weaknesses.
Jesus. That is so pathetic. I can't even. That's ridiculous.
Could you imagine if the Eagle, if a football team just got awarded a touchdown?
Come on. Stay away. They're going to attack the hotel.
We can
And
help.
I'm really sad I was door dashing during that, because I would have loved to have seen the reaction in the chat when that shit was happening.
We need to get out of here. There's a way out of the storage room, but it's locked.
I'll look for a key.
Aim it toward the door. Close the shed. Jump, jump.
There's too many keys, Gina. I can't find the damn key.
Okay, I picked it up. Someone cover me.
I'm coming, Gina. You can do it. Stay focused.
It's open. We have to go. We have a boat. Follow me. That was close.
Ci penseranno le fiamme allora!
Oh yeah, I was talking about it the other day, how fucking insanely stupid it was. For him to say Judeo-Christian mythology.
Right.
Since this takes place after Raiders of the Lost Ark. And I had initially brought up, you know, that he had found the Holy Grail and watched its divine power heal his father. And you mentioned the game takes place before the Last Crusade, so I was like, alright, fair enough. But I just remembered, at the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark, the fucking Ark of the Covenant kills everybody. Like, mythology my ass.
Right. Maybe the years have made him think that it was a fever dream and it didn't actually happen.
Yeah. That's the problem with having Reddit neckbeards do your writing.
I know enough to get me into trouble. Now, why are your soldiers fighting fascists?
We fight anyone who tries to steal our country's heritage.
But who allowed them to enter into the country?
A general who is an admirer of Mussolini. An arrogant German archaeologist made a deal with him.
Voss.
You know him?
I know of him. Relax. We're on your side.
Get down.
How do you shoot a gun with an eye patch? It seems like a really bad idea.
Who are you?
My name is Ginetta Lombardi, and this is Dr. Indiana
Yeah,
Jones.
Doctor of what?
I'm an archaeologist.
Depth perception would be extremely difficult at that point.
And I know how to stop him from getting it.
If I remember correctly, the lack of depth perception from only having one eye affects you most when it's like a couple of feet away from you. But as something gets further away, it's easier to like accurately track it properly. So maybe she can be an alright marksman, but anything that gets close to like hand-to-hand combat, she's just screwed. Probably Paul Muller, who played during the Tush Brute. Oh.
Einer von ihnen wurde gestern Abend in ihrem Dorf gesichtet.
Oh my god. Bro, that must have hurt like fucking hell.
Nach etwas sehr Wichtigem und diese Rebellen, verstehen Sie mich, Rebellen! Bin da meine Ausgrabung.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Haben Sie mich verstanden?
พวกเราก็แค่อยากจะใช้ชีวิตอย่างสันติปัญญาชนอย่างท่านก็อยากจะเข้าใจได้ดี
Nun gut. Bin schon da.
They're gone.
ขึ้นมากันได้แล้วไพลินฮะ
เรามาแล้วค่ะลุง
มากับใครเนี่ย
เพื่อนค่ะ พวกเขาออกมาช่วยเรา
Damn.
เอาเรือมานี่สิ
That guy, that tweet you posted, I clicked on the link that it was referencing.
Yeah.
And he dusted off a classic. That's from February of last year.
ยุติการโจมตีได้แล้วไพลินมันอันตรายเกินไป
That's one of the things I hate about like 2000s and early 2010s sports.
I think so.
I had no idea at the time I was watching it that I was actually watching peak and that it was never going to be that good again.
I would love some tea.
I wish I had known ahead of time. I would have enjoyed it more.
Yes.
'Cause you know how things are. You just keep thinking things are going to get better because you're living in an era where things continue to get better.
Absolutely.
So you're like, oh man, things are going to be even better in the future. And then, nope, that was peak. It's all downhill. Oop. Terrible.
Alright, let's see here. This is making me think of Far Cry 3, actually.
Come on, let's go inside.
Sawadi Krat Lung Suna.
สวัสดี ขอต้อนรับสู่บ้านของฉัน
One question, Dr. Jones. What makes you any different from Voss? You are both here to steal our cultural heritage.
No, I'm not here to steal anything. But to ask for your permission. I have the greatest respect for your culture and its history. I even teach a course about the Siamese kingdom and its artifacts.
This relic we're looking for has great power, but to Voss, it is a weapon of war. He will do anything to get it.
วอส คือฆาตกรจอมลวงโลก
Good.
เราจะช่วยคุณ
I did not realize
เรา
that.
สำเร็จ แต่
What's he saying?
He says he may help us.
I'm going back and rewatching some of Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Right.
And the scene where Indiana threatens to blow up the Ark,
เราถึงจะไว้ใจคุณได้
Belloc, like literally the actor playing Belloc, like incredible poise and composure from him. He eats a fly.
โถอาถรรพ์
A fly actually flies, it lands on his face, starts crawling towards his mouth while he's talking and delivering his lines, completely no-sells it.
คุณจะต้องล้วงมือลงไปใน
And it's all like, there's no shot he didn't eat the fly.
เชิญหน้ากับสิ่งที่
Wow.
คุณกลัว
What?
Test of bravery. The jar is cursed with magic.
You must prove yourself, Dr. Jones.
Snakes.
Uh-oh.
I'm reading on Wikipedia, the fly landing there happened spontaneously.
Well, yeah, you can't train a fly.
I know. It's just a retarded bit of writing there. In the unedited footage, it flies off, but the filmmakers decided to edit it so that it looked like he ate it, because they thought it was funny. We purposely trained him wrong, as a joke. I mean, I personally love that. That is fantastic.
Yeah, nothing but respect.
As a boy, I heard of the first people. Ages ago, they arrived on the Great Raft.
ร้องขอเทวดาแห่งแม่น้ำให้คอยช่วยนำ
The
ทาง
Sky Spirit spoke to the angel of the river who guided their way.
เลี้ยงขยายพันธุ์จนเต็มก้นแม่น้ำ
They brought clams to multiply in the riverbed,
ก่อวิหารขึ้น
and they raised a temple of stone.
เป็นที่ซ่อนของไข่มุก
Inside the temple was hidden the
ยักษ์ร้ายคอยเฝ้ารักษาอยู่
blessed pearl, protected by a terrible yak.
What's a yak?
From Yakshan, Sanskrit for giants. Shunkat.
และเมื่อถึงเวลาที่ต้องพิสูจน์ความเป็นลูกผู้ชาย ฉันจึงออกตามหาไข่มุกศักดิ์สิทธิ์นั้น
To become a man, I went in search of the blessed pearl.
ฉันเสาะหาไปตามหนองบึง จนเจอเข้ากับยักษ์ร้าย
I journeyed the marshland until I found a yak in the water.
มันทุบหัวฉันจนสลบ และเมื่อฉันฟื้นขึ้นในวิหารลับ ยักษ์ได้พูดกับฉันด้วยภาษาดึกดำบรรพ์
It struck me over the head. I woke up in a secret temple. The yak spoke to me in the old voice, an ancient language.
ฉันจึงขอร้องยักษ์เพื่อขอดูไข่มุกศักดิ์สิทธิ์นั้น
I begged the yak to see the blessed pearl.
และคงด้วยความสงสาร ยักษ์จึงนำหีบที่มีรูปร่างคล้ายหอยขนาดยักษ์ออกมา
The yak took pity on me. It uncovered a chest, shaped like a giant clam.
What was in it?
You said you know everything about our culture and history. Why don't you tell us what the giant revealed to Lung Sunan.
Hidden inside the chest was the Blessed Pearl. Carved in it was a word in a language so old no one could read it. My guess is, the Blessed Pearl looks something like this.
คุณได้พิสูจน์ตัวเองแล้ว ดังนั้นเราจะช่วยคุณนำไข่มุกศักดิ์สิทธิ์กลับมา มันอยู่ในบึงอินเดียนาโจนส์ตามหายักษ์ในน้ำให้เจอ มันคอยเฝ้าอุโมงค์ลับใต้น้ำอยู่
ขอบคุณครับลุงสุนันท์
What did he say?
He's gonna help us find the Blessed Pearl.
Was any of that true?
Every good story is true in one way or another.
Lung Sunan trusts you, Dr. Jones, so please, don't let him down. I will arrange a boat for you, but you will also need a breathing device to go through the tunnel. Pay a visit to Tong Dang in the morning and he will assist you.
Bitcoin is banging down very hard on 100,000, but it cannot quite break through yet. I'm really hoping it does. I'm really hoping it bangs through. Because once it breaks through 100K, it's going all the way down to 92K.
You again. Good morning.
It's dropped almost 2,000 points in the last hour.
Yeah. It's trying.
Hello?
ผู้มาเยือนเอ๋ยเข้ามาสิ ฉันจะดูดวงให้ แค่เลือกแก้ว1 ใน 2 ใบนี้มา แล้วฉันจะบอกบางอย่างเกี่ยวกับอนาคตให้
Polmewanilogan.
เมื่อเงาสูงตระหง่านทากทอลงมา สิ่งที่คุณรักที่สุดจะตกอยู่ในอันตราย
Kakumaka.
Oh, that tweet you sent me is hilarious. I've never seen a crocodile. That's amazing.
I mean, I associate animals like a crocodile with like grace and power, so to see one just completely fuck up like that is really...
No, I understand it. Because, you know, if it had been in the water when he did that, it would have got it.
Mm-hmm.
What do we have here?
That is hilarious, though.
Hi.
ภาพพิมพ์อะไรเหรอครับลุง
ภาพพิมพ์แกะไม้อันโปรดของข้าน่ะเองต้องรู้สิ
ลุงหาไม่เจอเหรอครับ
ใช่จำไม่ได้ว่าวางไว้ไหน
ไว้เจอแล้วผมจะบอกนะครับ
Sounds delicious.
สวัสดี
Hey.
อยากได้เครื่องปรุงอีกนะ
Anything I can help you with?
You are Dr. Jones, yes? Hylan told me about you. Tell me, Doctor, are you familiar with Professor Fleming's work with mold broth filtrate?
Sorry, not that kind of doctor.
Oh.
What are you working on?
I'm trying to replicate the professor's work and cultivate my own medicine. After the floods happened last month, many people have fallen ill with bacterial infections, and I just don't have the medicine to help them.
Listen, if I were to find some medicine, would you accept it? As a gift, of course.
Yes, Doctor. I would be eternally grateful.
I hope one day the people of this village trust me. I'm only here to help after all.
First the flood, then the fascists. Tough conditions. Hi there.
มีคนเห็นขโมยบ้างไหมสวัสดี
Hi.
All right.
หลังนั้นหลายตังค์เลยนะ
ด้วยอร่อยอร่อย
สวัสดี
Hey.
ต้องมีคนขโมยลังพระไปแน่
How have the foreigners been treating you? เธอถามว่าพวกคนนอกทำอะไรคุณบ้าง
พวกมันไม่ให้เกียรติกันเลย แต่ก็ไม่ได้ทำอะไรรุนแรง
He said they haven't been violent, but they have no respect for them.
How have the authorities reacted?
แล้วทางการไม่ทำอะไรเลยเหรอ
ไม่เลย พวกเขากลัวจอมพลจนหัวหด
He said they turned a blind eye. The general's influence.
สวัสดี
เธอก็ดุเดือดเกินไปนะ
ก็ที่เล่นกันนี่ ผมต้องกินของป้าให้ได้นี่นา ผมก็ต้องดุเดือดหน่อยสิ
Wonder what they're cooking.
สวัสดี
Hello?
เร็วกว่านี้แล้ว
ไม่ได้อร่อยแบบนี้มานานแล้ว
Be right back. 1 second.
Yeah.
All right. Ugh.
สวัสดี
Hi there. They cut a good haul.
ปืนกระบอกเก่งฉันไหม
ไม่นะ แต่ว่าฉันจะไปรู้ได้ไงว่าปืนกระบอกเก่งของพี่มันหน้าตาเป็นยังไง
อ๋อ มันไม่เหมือนกระบอกอื่นมากๆเลยไง
Yeah.
เป็นปืนพกออโต้
I mean, I guess it's probably canon that Indiana Jones understands a lot of different languages. But having to read subtitles to understand what the locals are saying to me all the time, when Indiana Jones can clearly understand them, and that's kind of the point, is a little annoying.
Do we have to go by boat? Beautiful day for a walk, don't you think?
If you want to go for a walk, be my guest. I'll be in the boat.
Nice night for walk.
I really love how these fucking retarded leftists were all like, "Hey, I've got an idea," and decided to be so stupid over this shit. Like, I'm reading this fucking tweet from this leftist. He goes, "This may be the first actual trade fight of Trump's second term. Literally caved in an hour." Oh my god. Capitol Hill newsletter, regular order, reporting on Congress since 1986.
Oh yeah, so what did you ultimately end up thinking of that RoboCop video game from like last year or whatever?
It was okay. It started pretty rough. It got better as you went on, but even at its best, it was passable. But I would not buy that game at full price if I could do it again.
Can't swim, okay?
Oh. Well. We all have our weaknesses. You just take it easy. Pretty sure I can handle this myself. Yeah. You good?
Yes. Okay. Let's find this yak in the water.
sir.
Are you Tong Dang?
I am Tong Dang, mister. You are the American. Hylin told me you would come.
Yes, he said you had something I could use when diving.
A breathing device. Yes. Wait. I believe this is what you see.
Okay, how much?
For you, I will sell it for a very cheap price.
The purveyor of breathing devices himself.
Yeah, I need the Mooney.
To bribe that general, Voss must have a reserve of gold in his camp. That's a lot of breathing devices.
Was it an exciting adventure? Hey, Jones. I have a mission for us.
What mission is that?
One of the villagers has gone missing. He was staying in an old tree house.
Has the setting change helped this game? I mean, I still think it's fundamentally the same game with the same strengths and the same weaknesses, but it is nice that we go from setting to setting and location to location, and it mixes up. Some areas are open world, some areas are linear. I think that's a good thing, but I don't think it changes the fundamental pros and cons of the game, really.
Don't wreck the boat. Be careful, Jones.
Oh, did you finish all that training, by the way, Snacks?
No. I've got a week to do it.
QT Champ, I posted a video about it already over on YouTube, but the short version is I think it's great. I'm pretty happy with it, man.
You doing okay?
I'm just not used to this.
Don't worry.
What were you steering?
Be right back, everybody. All right, we have officially broken below 100,000.
Dobbiamo per forza lavorare tutto il giorno.
Posso chiedere a boss se ti dà un
As
incoraggiamento?
long as you don't leave the line, they cannot deprive you of your constitutional right to milk AOC on the White House lawn.
I don't know Six Flags. I don't know. I'd like to, but it's really hard to even pretend to care right now.
Saving this from the fascists.
I know that it's technically accurate. I really am sick of the word fascist being used every 3 seconds in this game.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit, man.
It's way too much because, again, you know that the reason for this is because of contemporary politics.
Right.
Because the politics of the time, when there was literal fascist parties calling themselves fascist, even they didn't fucking say fascism this much. You know, when other countries were talking about the Italians, they would call them the Italians, not the fascists.
Mm-hmm.
What even is that shit?
Because at its core, what is a fascist? It's somebody who believes in using violence to get their way, right?
Yeah, like they go with that shit all the time.
Like, at its core, that's what they're trying to say when they use the term for fascism. Like, it's an insult.
Right. And that is exactly the point, you know? Just like I was saying. The whole thing is it's just because of contemporary politics. It's not because of period-based stuff.
It'd be like if instead I was fighting against a bunch of like gay people, right? Like instead, if I wasn't fighting Nazis, I was fighting homosexuals in this game, right? And
Maybe you all are homosexual.
and then I kept calling them, you know, the faggots or something. It's like, what?
Well, it's just like I said, man. It's people were referred to by their race and nationality, not by their politics.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, the Germans were the Nazis, but they were referred to as the Germans when people were talking about them.
Mm-hmm. Like, I would think calling them Nazis would work. Like, if they just called them Nazis the whole game, I'd be like, yeah, okay. I wouldn't think anything of that, but then they keep calling them fascists, and it's like... I don't know. Especially, it was technically true for the Italians, because it was called the Italian Fascist Party, but for the Nazis, they weren't called the German Fascist Party, they were called the Nazis.
Right. Whole thing comes from the German name of the party, which was Nationalsozialistische Deutsche Arbeiterpartei, National Socialist German Workers' Party. And it was just, you know, how national is said in German. The pronounced National.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you end up with that. But that's the funny thing is, you know, like you're saying, yes, the Italians were literally, they invented fascism. But people still called them Italians, not fascists.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's so fucking stupid. But yeah, it really, really bothers me that they keep going on and on with that crap because it's just so stupid and transparent. Because, like, I will say this, there's one exception. The Soviets. Still, they would commonly refer to them as the Germans and the invaders, but they would talk about them being fascists. But this is literally a nation that had political officers serving in military units to make sure that people adhered to the ideology of communism, even while fighting for their lives. Yeah, it's a shame because the British Union of Fascists is still an outlawed party to this day. But Mosley was right about everything, and if he had... Honestly, if he'd come around a few years earlier, there's a really good shot Mosley at some point would have been elected Prime Minister. It's just that British politics throughout their entire history as a nation is they want to destabilize mainland Europe, because if any hegemon had ever had the chance to appear, then they would be under threat. So when you look at British history, that's exactly what they do. Is anytime there's one power that is stronger than any others in mainland Europe, they would always support the rivals and enemies of that nation to check that and try to make sure that the mainland would be destabilized so that they wouldn't be under threat. So when Germany began prospering a great deal after the election of Adolf Hitler as chancellor, naturally they had to oppose Germany because, oh crap, look at how strong and amazing they are. So the association with fascism immediately made it completely untenable, and Oswald Mosley very quickly became, persona non grata in the country. But during the 20s, when the economy was in the complete shit heap and he was preaching that stuff, it was super fucking popular. It just took him a little bit longer to really get that going than it ought to have, and if he'd just been a few years sooner, he'd have been right there.
Mm-hmm.
Who can help the villagers with this?
Hitler would have won the war if he listened to his generals. No, that's a common canard, a mistaken belief. A very high up general in the German High Command named Franz Halder is responsible for a lot of that crap, because after the war, everybody who was still alive, they needed to make a new life for themselves. So they surrendered to the Allies, and in the process of seeking pardons, they told the Allies whatever they wanted to hear. And a lot of guys would seek to further their own station by making up bullshit. So Franz Halder got the bright idea, you know what? If I blame Hitler for all of the mistaken strategic decisions, I would be able to say, no, I was an honorable general who did my duty, and it was just that crazy madman, and they loved the idea of him being a madman because they hated him and wanted to smear his name. So they took the ball and ran with it. But Franz Halder is actually the reason that Germany lost the war, because the invasion of the Soviet Union occurred because the Germans needed to secure oil reserves. And from the signing of the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact in 1939 to the invasion of the Soviet Union in 1941, almost all of the oil in that famous German war machine where they were kicking the crap out of the entire rest of the planet was fueled by Soviet oil. Because at this point in world history, there were two nations on Earth that manufactured more crude oil than anyone else. There were really only two nations that even made any kind of substantial number, which was the United States and the Soviet Union. Because very few other countries even bothered at this point in history, and once nations like the Soviet Union and the United States, Romanian oil, the Romanians did help after the invasion, because the Romanians were always helping, and the Romanians did have a great deal of oil. They still have a great deal of oil to this day. But this is what I mean, is that those two nations were the only serious producers of oil. Is imagine along the lines of, I'll use small numbers here. Let's say Romania is making like 5 barrels of oil a year. The United States and the Soviet Union are both making 1,000.
Well, at least the kids back home will like this.
And Romania is like 3rd or 4th place in world production at the time. So it's the United States and the Soviet Union are so far beyond, it's not even funny. Now, there was no possible way to trade with the United States, because FDR was a virulent opponent of Hitler. And of course, he was supporting the British, so that was a complete non-starter. But the Soviet Union, they through careful diplomacy, even though Nazism and Marxism are diametrically opposed, they were able to forge an alliance of convenience, because essentially what they did is they agreed to carve up Europe between the two of them. They established the border in Poland, and they said, okay, we Germans, we're going to take everything west of this, you Soviets, you can take everything east of it. Because very few people would even know this about World War II history, after the invasion of Poland, and that's another thing, is that the Soviet Union declared war on Poland also, but even though World War II started because the British guaranteed Polish independence, and they declared war on Germany when Germany refused to not be at war with the Polish, when the Soviets invaded Poland, they didn't declare war on them. But after the invasion of Poland and carving up the country, the Soviets went apeshit in the Baltics. They took over Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania, and they invaded Finland. Now, famously, they got fucked on by Finland. They still won the war. They still took territory, but their military was devastated, and was a huge contributing factor to the initial success of Barbarossa, because the Finns kicked the crap out of them so hard. So because of that, the Soviets were great allies to the Germans up to that point, giving them so much oil. So when Germany decided that it was time to invade the Soviet Union, the purpose for that was to seize the oil fields in the Caucasus. Which were very, very rich oil-producing areas. So if the Germans could control that, they would not... They'd have all the oil that they could possibly need, and they'd be set for the rest of the war. The reason that Franz Halder lost the war for them is that Hitler, knowing the economic needs and the reason for the invasion, is to secure the Caucasus oil fields. But the vast majority of the elite troops and, the focus of the thrust into the country in the south, which went through Ukraine and would have kept going to the Caucasus Mountains. Franz Halder, who had a very high up position in the German High Command, he redirected troops away from the southern thrust and sent them to Army Group Center, which was headed towards Moscow. Because Franz Halder was a classically trained military officer who believed, as many of these crazy fucks do, that it's some kind of a strange chess match where you take the enemy's capital. It's a lot like taking the king in chess. Checkmate, you lose. I took your capital, that means you're supposed to surrender. But that's not even close to what happened. Like, World War II was complete total war. After Berlin falls, Germany still fights on for like another week because it was total war. And the kind of thing had been going on like all over the fucking place. Like, Italy still kept fighting for about a year after Rome fell. Taking somebody's capital doesn't mean shit. But because Franz Halder's a retard, he took so much of these important troops away from that push to the Caucasus oil fields in the south and redirected them to the center. They failed to take Moscow. And that's because Russia's a very, very, very large country. And it takes a lot of time to go through hostile enemy territory. The logistics are completely fucked and bombed out. And now you're trying to redirect forces that are not motorized from the south towards Moscow. It's an extremely time-consuming process. So by the time they got there, the blizzards had already started and they were fucked. Meanwhile, if they'd kept going, they probably would have secured the Caucasus oil fields. They did that the following year in Operation Fall Blau, where this is the famous Battle of Stalingrad. The whole purpose was to seize the Caucasus oil fields, and they managed to secure a couple of them, but by this point it was extremely obvious what the Germans' intention was. So the Soviets heavily sabotaged the manufacturing facilities, the oil refineries. So for the 6 months that the Germans had control of that, they didn't manage to do shit with it. They barely got anything. And by that point, so many of their resources had been redirected to Stalingrad, which was like, this is the ball game here, that they couldn't hold on to it anymore. Then they had to start retreating. And then after Stalingrad, when the 6th Army surrendered, the Germans would never take ground again. They would just be retreating until the war ended. So I went on that incredibly long autistic rant to say right guy that it's a common belief that the Germans would have won if Hitler wasn't a crazy madman who didn't listen to his generals. Problem is, he listened to his generals too much. These are self-serving careerists, and they don't care about the political reasons for the war. They just care about advancing their own glory. And by the time Hitler stopped listening to his generals, it was already way too late. The damage had been done. Europe doesn't really have oil outside of Russia, Norway, and I guess Romania. Yeah, pretty much. And that's the thing that sucks so much for Germany, is that they're absolutely filled with coal. They have some of the largest coal reserves of any country on the planet. They always have, and they still do to this day. But during the time of the Industrial Revolution, when coal was like the deciding factor in how strong your economy was, Germany went from being just the kingdom of Prussia, which was still the largest German kingdom, but, you know, still much smaller than so many other world powers. And then they, like, overnight, they just shot up into becoming the German Empire, unifying all this territory and becoming one of the most powerful nations on the planet. Which made everybody else shit themselves. They're like, oh crap, new kid on the block, we gotta stop this guy. That's the thing, you know, when coal was a deciding factor, up they go. But then when oil was a deciding factor... I know it's a big, long rant, but keep in mind, all of this is fun stuff you can learn by playing Paradox Interactive games. Yeah. Yeah, it's really dumb when the name pops up and it's like Fascist 1, Fascist 2. It would be so funny if Indy was racist. So, you know, it pops up as like Guinea 1, Guinea 2. Boomba. That'd be great.
Let's see. Wait a minute, this is a toilet brush. I thought this was like a blackjack or something.
What?
No.
Oh my god, it looks filthy!
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I just took this guy out with a toilet brush. I thought it was a fucking blackjack.
God, that's disgusting.
But
what have those Goombas been doing with that fucking thing? WAP 1, Dago 2.
Get in there. Get. And Matthew McConaughey does so many commercials now.
Yeah, I really think he's probably thinking really strongly on what he's going to leave behind for his family, and he's just... Because you see this happen all the time. Anytime an actor just starts saying yes to everything, and they haven't been greedy through their whole career, you know that something's up.
Right.
Matter of fact, let me check. Yeah, he's 55, and...
What's this? Seems like the generous patience is running out.
Oh, that's really nice. Matthew McConaughey's been married to the same woman since June of 2012. Together they have 3 children. That's lovely, because it almost never happens in Hollywood. Oh, she's Brazilian too, wow. Got himself a Portuguese. But anyway.
How many is a Brazilian?
Oh, that was good. Did you see the animated video clip where they had Zach was doing a Trump impression?
Yeah,
and he's got Sonic with him. That was hysterical. Oh man. Anyway. Yeah, so Matthew McConaughey is 55, and he has a wife and 3 children. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if, he's just, like, started thinking about taking care of his kids, what he's going to leave behind, all that kind of shit. Because you always get offered a ton of money for this crap, but, in his younger days, he might have been like, that's pretty low class, I don't want to have my name on that. Now it's just like, you're going to pay me how much? Holy...
You'd think it'd be the other way around, but you'd be wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, now see, that is a proper club, but at the same time, you're going to turn it around and you're going to see it's like a butt plug on the other end of it. Oh, Jesus.
Thank you, QT Champ. I appreciate that. Dunkachino.
Ow.
Get it? Al Pacino kind of sounds like Dunkachino.
Say hello to my chocolate blend.
A lost treasure. Stolen long ago. Best to keep it safe until I can return it to its proper home.
I remember, I was laughing my ass off. I was reading this fucking thing. Al Pacino has this incredibly nihilistic view of death.
Mm-hmm.
And And he was using that as the explanation for why he suddenly started being and everything, because he's like, I just wanted to have all these new experiences, you know? I just wanted to have all these experiences, because there's nothing after you die. This is it, just this one life. That's the only existence that you have, and I'm terrified of dying. And I'm trying to stave off the Grim Reaper for any possible stretch of time I can. And that's the explanation for why he was in Jack and Jill. So I think about that now, and just like every time, say hello to my chocolate blend, isn't it? Just existential crisis, Pacino.
Oh yeah, I found another Masato copy pasta.
Oh, nice. Let's see it. Oh, by the way, do you like the Trump with the milk mustache?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Incredible.
Oh yeah, I remember that show, JS. That was a while ago. Kind of hurts to read because of it's formatted stupid, but
Awooga. Really? Turned me into a eunuch using a cheese grater? Jesus Christ. This is entirely too much. Mr. Satan, come on over here. Diarrhea? Oh, okay.
You're all friends.
You discussed him going supersonic. We discussed it. I think we're really gonna like doing that.
And somebody put my Masato copy pasta, they reposted it on the r/copy pasta Reddit. So it's actually gained traction.
Yes. Because Reddit is where the filthiest of viruses are able to spread. You successfully introduced the mind virus by creating the most evil, vile filth imaginable. You flung it into the cesspool, where it began to assimilate the other filth.
erwischt!
Oh boy.
Nimm die Waffe runter, verdammt! Hey, du hast hier nichts verloren!
It's getting close.
Chissà cos'era.
Eccoti!
Federal agent makes post. I'm full remote. My nearest office for my agency is hundreds of miles away. My family has one car that my wife uses to get to work. We don't know what's going to happen to our childcare. Our vehicle is on a lease with limited mileage as well. We are absolutely terrified. Why? Because, like, I understand, you know, when you get a remote job, the expectation is it will always remain remote, so you make decisions based around that, but why would you put yourself in the position to where if you ever had to go into the office, it was that far away? While being
Yeah,
remote?
that's pretty questionable. I liked Al Pacino's role in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. He was only in that movie for a few minutes, but he was great.
Yeah, wasn't he, the old blind guy who was fucking like half the girls at the no, I remember he was like the movie producer who was telling Leo's character that he was a has-been.
Yeah. That he needed to go make Italian westerns or spaghetti westerns for a while.
Yes. He said you should go over there because your career's going to be better. If you stay over here, then you're just going to keep being used as a punching bag, literally, because the audience doesn't see the character that you're playing as getting beat up. They see the character that you were famous for getting beat up.
I guess the whole spaghetti western thing was kind of like the Euro League in the NBA, where washed-up stars from the NBA could go and revitalize their career for a little bit.
It was because domestic production of westerns by that time was like, you know, oh, that's all in the past, man. So they were trying to move on to doing different things, but westerns were still super popular, especially internationally. So that's when you have, you know, the spaghetti westerns in the first place, because the Italians wanted to still make those movies. So, you know, then people like Clint Eastwood went over, and then they made movies that were extremely popular, and they extended the shelf life of westerns for like another decade.
Meglio andare a vedere.
Take it easy!
Kind of crazy how dependent I am on these guards being completely stupid. Like, good lord. I mean, I'm not upset about it because it makes my job easier, but goddamn.
I learned something from this one.
Chissà cos'era.
Seems like the general's patient. Yeah. All right, Kyle, you asked for it.
Hey, du hast hier nichts verloren. Ich weiß, was ich mache. Dai, impegnati! Sparategli, maledizione!
Chissà cos'era.
484.
Indiana, you're a genius.
Che cos'era?
Oh my god. 4 gigantic bricks of gold.
Not bribing anyone with this, boss.
Big dumb.
I guess the folks in the chat really liked when I was, because somebody had posted this GIF of this duck, like, twerking or whatever.
Right.
And the name of the GIF was Kiss My Ass N-Word.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's hilarious, but I gotta delete this. But, so I said, you know, as I let him know I gotta delete it, I'm like, wild bait, I'm gonna have to delete this. And that was the most reacted to post that I've ever made, apparently.
That's pretty funny.
Tremendous. You know, I didn't say it because it would have just seemed mean. But I was fine with whatever was going to happen today for that Chiefs-Bills game because I'm like, look, either the Bills win, in which case it's nice to see Josh Allen finally gets the monkey off his back. And seeing a team that hasn't made the Super Bowl in a very long time do it is, it's nice. But on the other hand, if they lose like they did, well, I got to watch the Bills get fucked. And that's just fine with me. Like, who's your favorite player who's not on the Seahawks?
It might be Brock Bowers now, honestly.
Okay, well, imagine if the Niners drafted Brock Bowers.
Then and then the Niners hard for me to, yeah.
Well, granted, but like, imagine that had happened, and then the Niners made the NFC Championship game, but then they just got butt blasted by the Eagles.
Yeah.
You'd be like, it'd be cool to see Brock Bowers in the Super Bowl, but man, I am so glad I got to watch the Niners get fucking obliterated. The whole whoop your ass and donate to charity thing doesn't sit right with me with the Bills.
Oh, so I guess they do the thing where after they beat your team, the Bills will like donate, Bills fans will donate a bunch of money to like a player on the team they just beat or something. I think that's
when
what it is.
When the team injures a player. Bills fans donated a lot to charity after to his concussion. So things like that. So that JS, I think he meant whoop your ass, like literally.
Okay.
They put you in the hospital. I'm going to donate to charity because I feel bad about it. And, since Sandy's in here, I know he's probably thinking of the Patrice O'Neal bit. Where it's like, what the hell? When I was in school and I was playing football, we'd think it was awesome if we hurt a kid that badly. Just fucking paralyzed from the waist down. All right, take his socks. Take his socks. We're going to wear them on our helmet. To let the other teams know. Oh, shit. This is a team to be killing kids and then stealing their socks. And his mother's in the audience. She's screaming, oh, my God, they killed my baby. That's right, lady. You shouldn't have sent him out here. You should have known we're killers. Oh, man.
All right. I think that's going to do it for Indy Jones tonight. I got a couple things I got to do, and then I got to go to bed. So everyone have a good rest of your night, and I will see you guys tomorrow. I know we're ending a little earlier than usual, but I got some things I got to do, and we did get in more than 3 hours, so we're doing good.
Yep, no problem.